Oh, hello, and welcome to Prediction Movie Review. Look, it gets really hot in here, so you're getting a muscle shirt today, even though there's not much muscle to speak of. Hey guys, my name is Dylan. Armed with only a trailer in the first part of the movie, I'll attempt to prove just how lazy Hollywood has become. Because of a crazed fan base, I sat through a 4-hour Justice League earlier this year. And sure, the story was marginally better, but what do you expect when you have 4 hours to tell a story? Zack Snyder is back and dipping his toes in the zombie genre again. This time, I just hope he listens to his editor. So that's a no. Oh boy. Strap in, it's gonna be a long one. Newly released to Netflix, it's the Prediction Movie Review for Army of the Dead.
Mr. Ward, how would you like to make $50 million?
I'll do it. Well, let me at least tell you what you have to do. I'll do it. Sidebar, why did you put Bautista in that tiny hat?
What if?
I can see you're out of base.
What if just once
Taste of your whiskey.
we did something just for us?
Is Batista just going around with his young friend recruiting the best of the best for an important job? That sounds awfully familiar.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
There's $200 million in the vault beneath the strip. This should be a simple in and out.
Absolutely nothing is gonna go wrong with that plan. Yeah, definitely no drama in the third act where it doesn't look like our team is gonna get out with the cash or even alive.
It's not too late to go back.
That's what I whisper to myself nowadays on the way out the door just to go and get groceries.
What the?
Now hold on, she might be friendly. Oh hell no! Retreat! Retreat!
They're not what you think they are. Smarter, they're faster, they're organized.
Look, if this was your regular old run-of-the-mill zombie apocalypse, I might help out. But with these zombies, I'll just sit this one out. Okay, thanks. A little behind the scenes here, I just wrote Elvis joke in the script because I couldn't think of anything and I forgot to come back to it, so thank you very much. That would be just my luck. Finally win the big one and immediately get eaten by a zombie. Poor all my life, and now I'm a rich zombie. Do they even use money?
It's a goddamn zombie tiger.
And after all the stuff that Siegfried and Roy did to that poor thing, it's gonna be extra pissed off. That felt like one of the longest trailers I've seen in quite a while. And because this is a 2.5-hour movie, I'm gonna have to watch the longest amount of a movie before we break for predictions. So allow me to mentally prepare for what is sure to be quite the ride. My favorite part so far is that the entire zombie apocalypse can be traced back to some dude getting roadhead. But I did learn Zack still has not listened to his editor. We are an hour into this, and we have just got inside the wall with the zombies. Tons of time dedicated to the team that I could barely name any of them. And the movie committed one of my least favorite cliches. When talking about the plan, they showed you what it would look like if everything went exactly as they map it out to. No shit, it isn't gonna go that way. If it did, what would be the point of watching the rest of the movie? Our next step is to make some predictions. Where we left off, they'll get to the casino and turn the power on, and that is where the first batch of zombies are going to be. They will attack them, and they'll have to shoot their way to safety. I think it would be very interesting if we got more backstory on the zombies, especially the king, because he's wearing dog tags, but he doesn't look like the one who escaped in the beginning. So I think we're going to get to see how he became the alpha, took over the city, created their own civilization, and apparently impregnated the queen somehow. They will get to the safe, and by this point, Dieter will have killed his first zombie. That is why we see him and Vandero fist pumping. And I have a strong feeling that later on, Vandero is going to sacrifice himself for Dieter. I don't trust Martin for even a second. He is pretty clearly there just to watch over the group and then eventually screw them over somehow. There's also a shot in the trailer where he has wire and the queen is pinned down. I think he is going to kill her, and that is going to piss off the king even more, and Martin will die a vicious death. Kate only went along because she's looking for that Gita lady. I initially had thought that Gita would have been turned into a zombie and that Kate would have to kill her, but, and it's a big but, I cannot lie, there's a shot in the trailer that we have not seen of Gita yet that I think means she is alive somewhere and the group will find her and save her. At some point, it's going to come out that Scott is giving different amounts of money to everybody, and that will not sit well with some and cause dissension between the group. The group, or at least whoever's left of it, will get to the money. There's two shots in the trailer, Scott with money floating around him, and the 420 guy who is making it rain, and both seem to be in the same scene at night. Kate and Scott have a strange relationship. At one point, Kate will be in danger and Scott will save her, showing deep down he truly does care for her. There will be a scene where she forgives him and they go on to have some daddy-daughter zombie-killing bonding time. This should be obvious, but not everybody is making it out alive. If I did have to predict who I think will survive, Scott, Kate, Maria, and I think maybe Dieter. Either way, we are in for a bloody rest of the movie. And it's a movie that's pretty intriguing so far. The premise is cool, the zombies seem neat, and there's a couple of interesting characters. So let's find out what happens to them and our predictions. Bring on the zombies. I will get to my thoughts on the story in just a second, but I wanted to lead with this. Of the reported $70 to $90 million to make this, I swear well over half of it went to just the blurry effect. It is everywhere. It is like if the Batman and Joker scene from the nightmare sequence in Justice League was an entire movie. I don't know if it's being used to cover up bad CGI, although apparently not everywhere, or if this is just the style that Zack likes, but to me, it looks very cheap and harsh to the eyes. I'm recording this on an iPhone, and you have access to cameras that are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you make it look like this? There was also some weird crap about a possible time loop they might be stuck in that made no sense, and why did Maria wait until the last minute to tell Scott she cared about him? There is one thing I was reading about afterwards that is quite impressive. I was unaware that Chris D'Elia was the helicopter pilot and had shot all of his parts, and then allegations came out against him. They shot Tig Notaro by herself and digitally inserted her in. So kudos to the team for not making that look entirely obvious. Let's get to the results and see how the predictions turned out. The crew goes through a building, and lo and behold, there's a whole batch of zombies napping. Scott and the crew do escape and they get to safety. I knew it. Dieter kills his first zombie and then opens the safe, and that is why we see Vandero respecting him. However, Dieter is the one who sacrifices himself for Vandero, not the other way around. Earmuffs, kids?
What's coming to go?
That couldn't have been any clearer from the get-go. After he gets the Queen's head, because that was the entire mission, to replicate them? Okay, so then why the bank heist? He dies spectacularly at the hands of the tiger. The whole point of Kate being there was to save Gita. She's alive and escapes with Kate and Scott, and then we don't see what happens to her unless I missed something. Are we just to assume she died in the helicopter crash? The crew does get to the $250 million, and that's about as far as that gets. They get to it, and then it's all gone as it's flying out of bags as they're being tackled by zombies. Scott and Kate do get to talk things out and help flesh out Scott's lobster roll food truck, but they have a nice moment and they get to bond. Things look good for their future. That is until, yeah, we'll get to that. That's all I got right. Let's see what I was incorrect about. We sadly don't get to see any more backstory on the Alpha or his queen, and their legacy clearly won't continue since their baby was killed. But I did read that Netflix has already shot a prequel for Dieter showing how he became a safecracker. Okay, because I was clamoring for that afterwards. And a prequel animated series showing us the early going on of the pandemic, which will be neat because it's a very interesting world. At no point does it come up how much they're each making. A lot of them just seem crazy and are there for the fun of it. I had my final four to survive: Scott, Kate, Maria, and Dieter. I got one right. Seriously, we meet all of these people And Kate makes it out. She survives and has to kill Scott after he was bit and turns. As for the only other survivor, you were telling me after seeing everyone be instantly turned into a zombie, Vandero, who is in that safe for who knows how long, first off, gets out into a toxic environment where a nuke was just set off, walks all the way to his house, drives to the airport, takes a private plane and is about to land in Mexico, and that is where he realizes he was bit? Really? There you have it. Army of the Dead. I really feel like Dave Bautista is coming into his own on screen. He has turned in some solid performances as of late. I just hope, and he's talked about this openly, he doesn't get typecast as this big guy who doesn't get to do very much acting, because I really feel like more directors should let him. As for elsewhere, the zombies looked great, the action at times was really decent, and the world was set up really well. Mostly for me, the length hurt this, and especially the ending, which seemed to drag and made no sense other than to set up making more of these. And I cannot stress enough how dumb the blurriness was. Look, I am all for directors getting to do what they want to do and studios letting them. I just wish that Zack could tell a concise story that didn't take an on average for him of 2 hours and 29 minutes. Do you have a movie that you want to see a prediction movie review for? Obviously, I can't have seen the movie in order to make this work, but leave your suggestions in the comments below. Lastly, I predict that you will like the video and subscribe, and that's appreciated. Thanks for watching.